Ever thought about how historical figures have shaped our world? These larger-than-life individuals, from emperors to explorers, have left indelible marks on our society, culture, and world. Their actions, decisions, and ideas have reverberated through time, influencing not only the course of history, but also the ways we live, think, and perceive our reality today. They've shaped nations, sparked revolutions, and inspired generations. So, who were they? What did they do? And how did their influence ripple through the ages? Let's explore the lives of some of these extraordinary individuals. Flashback to ancient Egypt, where Queen Hatshepsut reigned. Born into royalty, Hatshepsut was not content with the traditional role of a queen. She ascended to the throne during one of Egypt's most prosperous eras and ruled for about 2 decades. Under her reign, Egypt's influence expanded through successful military campaigns and trade expeditions. But what set Hatshepsut apart was her audacious decision to be portrayed as a male pharaoh. She donned the false beard, the traditional royal headdress, and had herself depicted in the masculine form in statues and reliefs. This was a bold move that challenged the gender norms of her time, asserting her authority and right to rule. Hatshepsut's reign was marked not by war, but by peace and prosperity. She built magnificent temples, promoted arts and architecture, and left an indelible mark on Egypt's landscape. Hatshepsut, the woman who dared to rule as a pharaoh. Fast forward to 356 BC, the birth of Alexander the Great. Born to Philip II of Macedon and Olympias, a force of nature destined to change the course of history was unleashed. Alexander, a student of the legendary philosopher Aristotle, soon became a master of strategy and warfare. By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires of the ancient world, stretching from Greece all the way to Egypt and as far east as India. His conquest didn't just expand territories, but ideas and cultures too. He ushered in the Hellenistic Age, a time when Greek culture spread, influencing and mingling with the East. This fusion of cultures spawned advancements in arts, science, and philosophy that still echo in our world today. Despite his untimely death at the age of 32, Alexander's influence remains undiminished. His military strategies are still studied in war colleges, his empire building a blueprint for future leaders. Alexander, the man who changed the face of the ancient world. Crossing over to Rome, we encounter the formidable Julius Caesar. A man of ambition, Julius Caesar clawed his way up the Roman political ladder, overcoming obstacles and adversaries to eventually become one of the most powerful dictators in history. His reign was marked by significant contributions that shaped the Roman Empire and indeed the world. Caesar implemented reforms that improved the lives of Rome's citizens, extended the boundaries of the empire, and even gave us the Julian calendar, which, with minor tweaks, is the one we still use today. But as the saying goes, all power corrupts, and Caesar was no exception. His thirst for authority led to his dramatic end. In a plot worthy of a Shakespearean tragedy, Caesar was betrayed and assassinated by those closest to him, including his friend Brutus. Caesar's life and death left an indelible mark on history. His name became synonymous with power and authority. Caesar, the man who became a symbol of power. Moving east, we meet the unstoppable force, Genghis Khan. Born in the rugged steppes of Mongolia, this formidable leader rose from a humble background to establish an empire that stretched from Eastern Europe to the Sea of Japan. His rule, marked by strategic military tactics and a unique approach to governance, left an indelible mark on Mongolian culture and beyond. Genghis Khan's empire was not just expansive, it was revolutionary. Under his reign, there was a remarkable degree of religious freedom, something unheard of during those times. His meritocratic system of governance, where ability trumped heritage, also set a precedent that influenced future empires. But perhaps his most lasting legacy is the Mongolian script, which was developed during his rule. This script, still in use today, stands as a testament to the cultural impact of his reign. Genghis Khan, the man who ruled the largest contiguous empire in history. Leaping forward to the 15th century, we find Joan of Arc. Born to a peasant family in northeastern France, Joan's life took a dramatic turn when she began to experience visions of saints. These visions guided her on a remarkable journey that led her to the Dauphin, the future King Charles VII of France. during a time when women were largely excluded from military affairs. Joan of Arc convinced the Dauphin to allow her to lead a French army against the English, who were occupying parts of France during the 100 Years' War. Her victories at Orléans and other key locations shifted the balance of the war in favor of the French, and she became a national heroine. However, she was later captured by the English, tried for heresy, and burned at the stake at the tender age of 19. Nearly 500 years later, she was canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church. Joan of Arc, the woman who led an army and became a saint. Back in England, Queen Elizabeth I takes the throne. The year is 1558, and a new era dawns. The Virgin Queen, as she was known, ruled with an iron fist and a velvet glove. Her reign, often referred to as the Elizabethan era, was a golden age of English history. Elizabeth was no ordinary queen. She was a master of diplomacy, navigating the treacherous waters of international politics with aplomb. She managed to maintain peace, a rare feat in those turbulent times. And let's not forget, she rallied her troops against the Spanish Armada, leading to one of the most celebrated victories in English history. Her influence extended beyond politics. The arts flourished under her rule. This was the time of Shakespeare, Marlowe, and Spenser. The Queen herself was no stranger to the arts, being an accomplished writer and translator. Elizabeth's reign left an indelible mark on English history, shaping the nation's identity and paving the way for its future. Elizabeth I, the queen who gave her name to an era. Across the Atlantic, we witnessed the birth of a new nation under George Washington. A leader carved from the crucible of conflict, Washington was a cornerstone of the American Revolution. His military strategy and unwavering perseverance saw the American colonies through the war, ultimately leading to their independence from British rule. His leadership didn't stop there. As the fledgling nation's first president, he set the standard for all who would follow in his footsteps. He established the two-term limit for presidency, a tradition that stood unbroken until the mid-20th century. His firm belief in a government by the people, for the people, remains a guiding principle in American politics to this day. Beyond his military prowess and political acumen, Washington was also a man of integrity and honor. His dedication to his country and its principles is a testament to his character. And so we remember him not just as a soldier or a statesman, but as a true American hero. George Washington, the man who defined the American presidency. In India, we see the rise of a peaceful revolution led by Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi's philosophy, known as satyagraha, or insistence on truth, centered around nonviolent resistance. This was a radical approach in a world accustomed to battles and bloodshed. Born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, he later earned the title Mahatma, meaning great soul, an honorific bestowed upon him by the people he served. His leadership was instrumental in India's struggle for independence from British rule. Gandhi's approach of civil disobedience, including the famous Salt March, demonstrated the power of peaceful protest. His philosophy influenced global civil rights movements and leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela. Gandhi's life was not without controversy, but his commitment to peace and justice remains a beacon of hope. Despite his assassination in 1948, his legacy continues to inspire millions around the world. Gandhi, the man who led with love and not with force. So, what do all these extraordinary individuals have in common? From the ancient sands of Egypt, we saw the rule of Queen Hatshepsut, a woman who defied convention to become one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs. She expanded Egypt's trade routes and ushered in a period of peace and prosperity. Then there was Alexander the Great, the Macedonian conqueror who, in his short life, created one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. His military strategies are studied even today. We journeyed to the era of Julius Caesar, a Roman statesman whose power and influence laid the groundwork for the rise of the Roman Empire. His assassination sparked a series of events that changed Rome forever. We rode with Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, who transformed a group of nomadic tribes into one of the world's most feared military forces. His legacy is a complex tapestry of conquest and culture. We stood alongside Joan of Arc, a young woman who led France to victory in the 100 Years' War, inspiring generations with her courage and faith. We walk through the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, whose rule ushered in a golden age for England. She navigated political turmoil with wisdom and tenacity. We cross the Delaware with George Washington, the first president of the United States, whose leadership and character laid the foundation for a new nation. And we marched with Mahatma Gandhi, a man who championed nonviolence and led India to independence, forever changing the course of history. They dared to defy norms, to lead, and to change the world. They are the legends of our past, shaping our present and our future.